Welcome to Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazelton Honda.
Welcome inside John Seleska's Gymnasium. We are in the Back Mountain, Dallas of Luzerne County. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference crossover matchup as Berwick battles Lake Lehman. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to the tip-off of our 2021 season. We have the mass sound. We're all set to go. We'll have 9 games for you here on MyTV WQMY starting tonight. And joining me for all the play-by-play and color analysis, former referee and former high school coach, now referee, I should say, Billy Jones. And Billy, it's been an unusual preseason, but finally we have basketball here tonight.
I don't think we could have scripted a stranger or more bizarre preseason. Team started practice November 19th, got shut down for 2 weeks. Things resumed last week, Monday, January 4th. Each team tonight already has a game under their belt, Bob.
They do, and Berwick lost the other night, a big one to Nanticoke. If they want to win and they want to pull off a nice upset tonight, they're going to need a big game from a Toyota Spotlight player, Miles Dahl.
Miles Dahl needs to come up and be a secondary scorer for the Bulldogs. Sean Murphy is probably their best returning scorer, but right now the Bulldogs, their top returning scorer and rebounder from last year, Blaine Cleaver, is out with a football injury. Coach Bobby Kalerko, in his first year, needs Dahl to step up. He does a lot of things well, but he needs to be more aggressive offensively.
As you can hear, the national anthem is played here, and we'll take a quick pause. Okay, Billy, let's talk about Lake Lehman. They almost pulled the upset the other night against Wilkes-Barre. A lot of players played well in that game. One guy who really stood out, though, was our other Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Josh Kane.
You could make a strong argument Josh Kane was the best player on the floor Saturday night at Wilkes-Barre area. Was the leading scorer for the Knights with 14 points, rebounded the ball very aggressively, blocked shots. He was like a Swiss Army knife.
He is, and we'll do our keys to the game after the break. So we're all set for the tip-off here at Lake Lehman. We'll have the starting lineups, keys to the game, and we'll have basketball here on MyTV WQMY. It's Berwick and Lake Lehman next.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazelton Honda.
Here now the starting lineups first for the Berwick Bulldogs, 3-20 a year ago. It will be Boone and Murphy along with Dahl at your guards. Lachinsky and Taylor are the forwards, very young team. No seniors in the starting lineup. And for the Black Knights of Lake Lehman, they'll be all seniors. They have 8 seniors on this team overall. 5 of them will start. Pacheski and Adams and Kane will be in the backcourt, and Klopp and Doherty will be in the front court underneath the basket. They played well the other night. Those starting lineups sponsored by Hazelton Honda. So we are all set for basketball. Both teams were all ready to go. They're all excited to get this season underway. What do we want to look for early on, Billy, from both of these teams?
From both of these teams, I think Berwick wants to maybe get some transition baskets early. They really struggled at Nanticoke on Friday night in the half court. I think if they can get some runouts and get some easy baskets, they'll get their mojo offensively. I think Lake Lehman, they just got to do what they did successfully on Saturday night. Rebound the ball, have balanced scoring attack, and I think they'll be in good shape.
There you saw tonight's referees from the Wyoming Valley Conference, Joe Lubinsky, Eric Lawson, and Dave Mattis. Now, a couple of them will wear masks. You will notice that the teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference, many of them, Billy, not wearing masks during play.
Yeah, interesting. Lackawanna League has a little bit of a different rule, mandatory mask for all 10 players on the floor and the 3 officials. Wyoming Valley Conference doing things a little differently this year. Berwick man-to-man.
Adams out top, get it over. Nice drive to the hoop. by Kane. Our spotlight player is no good. And here comes the Berwick Bulldogs the other night. They only put up 28 points against Nanticoke. They need to find some offense here tonight if they want to stay in this game.
Absolutely. Lehman, man-to-man as well. However, they will mix in a little bit of zone, especially out of a timeout or to start a period, just to give the offense a little bit of disruption.
Tight man-to-man. Dahl had it. Picks up a screen by Chinsky. Here comes that tough defense. Something Lake Lehman really wants to focus on this year. Over to Taylor. Nice drive. It's blocked.
Kane again, Bob. We saw those blocks Saturday night at Wilkes-Barre area. Great timing getting off the floor to block that shot.
Gain over to Doherty. He will hit it from the three. He can shoot out there. The 6'3" senior. We'll turn around over Taylor, the first 2 points of the game for Neil Doherty.
Doherty, I think, is going to be a matchup problem in the Wyoming Valley Conference this year. He is able to step away from the goal and knock down the three, which forces the guy guarding him out onto the perimeter. And he has a good first step. He can blow by a guy that's guarding him, and we saw that on Saturday at Wilkes-Barre area.
Lakinski off the mark. Lake Lehman likes to run it outside by Bacheski. And there's Doherty again with the garbage.
I don't think Coach Callanay is going to have to stress about lack of rebounding effort tonight.
They gave the same effort against what they did against Wilkes-Barre. Berwick's going to be in trouble. It goes out of bounds. So Boone will take it out over to Sean Murphy, the sophomore. Back it around over to Dahl. Boone's shot off the mark. Goes out of bounds. It will stay Bulldogs ball.
Boone, not much of a scoring threat. He's more of a distributor, but if Coach Calerico can get some scoring out of him tonight, that'll be an added bonus.
There, see the cheerleaders are here. Some parents, socially distanced. Back come the Knights. Klopp all the way, no foul called.
Lehman will look to run.
Maybe blocked, and we'll have our first foul of the game. Looks like it might go against Paczynski.
Yeah, Murphy will go to the line here to shoot two. Like we said in the open, Berwick is having trouble scoring the ball. If they can get to the free throw line and get some points on the board, I think they'll gain confidence offensively.
Murphy of the night, 0 from 2 for the line. So our Figure Law Firm free throw off the mark for Sean Murphy.
It'll be interesting to see here if the Knights maybe show some full court pressure. I'm sorry, the Bulldogs, they're not.
So Berwick got on the board, 3-point lead for the home team.
Berwick up aggressively in the half court here. Yeah, there they go. Boone got a closely guarded 5 count on Adams.
Adams, of course, the quarterback for the football team, a senior, didn't score against Wilkes-Barre, held the ball just a little bit too long.
Great pressure by Braden Boone. He really rattled Adams there. If they can get that type of ball pressure at the half court, that really could disrupt the Knights.
And I think we have an offensive foul going to be called. And we do.
That foul is on Taylor. Player control foul.
Where's Dwayne Callaney, his 3rd season here with the Black Knights, looking for big things from this senior-oriented team.
Klopp missed the bunny, but got his own rebound and put it back. He'll go to the line here for 2. One thing with Lake Lehman, they will set a lot of back screens, a lot of slice cuts and curls. If you're not engaged defensively and you're not talking, you're going to give up some easy baskets, and that's what happened there. Klopp caught it way too deep for the Bulldogs' liking.
Klopp puts 1 in. Goes back to a 4-point lead. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. This Wyoming Valley Conference matchup.
Switching it up here, the Knights, they're showing some zone here. We'll see how Berwick responds.
Looks like a 3-2, maybe a 1-2-2.
That's correct, an odd front zone. Look for Dahl and Murphy maybe to knock down some shots.
Lakinski off the mark on his first 2 shots. Again, Berwick struggling from the offensive side.
Lazinski, a transfer from Hazleton area. I believe he's a football player with the Bulldogs.
A lot of them are. Speaking of football, it's Ethan Adams. Nice season for the Black Knights on the gridiron this year. Lost in the District 2 championship game right here on my TV. Klopp has it. Nice cut by Adams. The lefty is up and good.
There's that slice cut I was talking about. Lake Lehman runs very good offense. A lot of screening away, a lot of screens on the perimeter with curls.
This will be out of bounds, and this should take us to our first break of the night. Under 4. Let's see if they give it to us. And it is. It is immediate timeout. 3:56 in the first quarter. A 6-point advantage for the Knights.
Here's a look at our Allied Services marquee matchup. Sean Murphy for the Berwick Bulldogs, Max Pajeski for the Lake Lehman Knights. Pajeski, an all-Wyoming Valley Conference performer last year, averaged 16 points a game. Murphy's going to have the task of guarding him tonight. Should be interesting. You don't want to get Pajeski off on a roll, because if he can knock down his first couple shots, it could be a long night for Berwick.
It's been a long night offensively for Berwick the other night. The only 2 free throws in the first quarter at Nanticoke. And they're struggling here tonight to find any kind of offense. Missed the first couple of shots. So they'll get it out of bounds. Good defense by Klopp.
Great cut by Murphy.
Yeah,
He's got to finish that.
Taylor, he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 6'3" junior.
Great job by Sean Murphy moving without the ball. He's got to finish it. Fortunately, Taylor was there to pick up the garbage, and hopefully he can convert here from the free throw line. I think Bobby Kalerko was very pleased with his team's performance Friday night defensively at Nanticoke. Held Nanticoke in the 40s. If he can do that and score, he should be in a good position to win.
Cole Morial, the junior, number 25, is in the game for Lehman. He picked up his first foul. 2 fouls on each team here in the first quarter.
Bulldogs showing a little zone here.
They switched up the other night from a just like 1-2-2, played a little man-to-man against the Trojans. Good cut in by Pajeski.
And there's Kane again.
There's Kane with the hustle underneath, the 6'1" senior playing bigger than his height.
He plays with such a high motor, Bob. I talked to Dwayne Killenay yesterday. He said Kane, early on in his career here at Lehman, a little bit of a reckless player, but he's really gotten to understand the game very well. He's a very cerebral player now, makes better decisions, and it looks like the early start to his senior season, it's really coming together for him.
Yeah, 4-7 on the year from the line. Let's see if he can make it 5 of 8. He can't get the roll. The figure law firm free throw. So still a 6-point advantage. Murphy in the corner. They need to find some offense from him. Just a sophomore, played last year as a freshman. Nice turnaround, can't get the roll.
People wanted to walk there, but Murphy did not lift his pivot foot. Good non-call by the officials.
Spajeski. Back to Kane. No one's going to guard him. He takes it right to the rack, and he...
Yeah, those happy feet, Bob. A little travel.
Now he traveled.
That was an easy call.
What have you seen out of Berwick? Is it Lehman's defense, or Berwick just not running their half-court offense quite yet early on in the season?
I think it might just be a little rust with that 2-week layoff, a first-year head coach. I think most teams are going to be behind offensively. The defense is going to be ahead of the offense. They ran a nice set here for Dahl coming off the screen. Decent look.
Yeah, he did have a good look. The lefty was off the mark, though.
They ran him off a staggered double. If he can knock that shot down consistently this year, it's really going to help the Bulldogs offense out. They need a secondary scorer, especially with Cleaver out.
Yeah, Blaine Cleaver, one of the leading scorers, the football player headed to Army. He's been practicing. He's actually dressed. He will not play in the first half of the season. Still has that injury suffered during football. But once they get him back, that might help a little bit, especially inside. Kinski, he's been looking for his shot all night long. And did he double dribble?
Yeah, looks like
he did.
A double dribble.
comeback for the Knights.
Yeah, Isaac Tripp into the game now, number 10. One of the 2 seniors on this team.
Now, Tripp is a newcomer to the team this year.
Yep.
He was the leading scorer down at Nanticoke on Friday night with 9 points off the bench. Bobby Kalerko, I don't know if he was expecting that or not, but pleasant surprise for the Bulldogs.
Pacheski, speaking of scoring, one of the tops in the Wyoming Valley Conference, number 5. Hasn't taken a shot yet tonight for the Knights. Klopp baseline, stepped out of bounds. It's a good D by the Bulldogs. They're holding Lehman down so far.
Yeah, defensively they're engaged. They're doing a solid job. They just got to put the ball in the basket.
Oh, and they're going to get travel. I thought maybe he wanted to get a foul. Instead, took that extra step.
Great pressure on the ball there by Josh Kane. This Lehman team defensively, they're very active. They put pressure on the ball. They talk good help defense. They're very fundamentally sound defensively.
So Klopp will take a seat. Another senior in is Jared Barber, 6 foot. Senior number 11 into the game.
Barber, a good athlete, can jump. You could argue he might be the most athletic player on the Knights roster. Good 6-man. He's also a senior as well.
Pacheski stopped it, couldn't get that one to go, and Mario got his hand in there, caused the turnover. Lehman to take advantage, and they do, but Pacheski lays it up and in, his first 2 points of the game.
Berwick bench wanted to reach there. Not sure if that was missed or not, but it led to an easy hoop for Pacheski.
Murphy pushing the pace, came up short, and is going to get called for the aggressive foul. A little frustration there from the sophomore. His second foul of the game. There is Bobby Kalerko. Played at Berwick his first season. Played a little bit at Wilkes as well.
Yeah, played for the great Jerry Rickroad for the Colonels. I believe he played from 1999 through 2003.
Oh, good cut by Mario, even a better pass.
Yeah, Lehman runs good offense. If you're not talking on screens or if you're caught napping, they'll make you pay.
Largest lead of the night so far early on in the first quarter. Again, the Bulldogs, no field goals. Once again, second game in a row. That will change. No, it won't. Oh, it was an easy layup by Tripp, and he missed it. Back the other way, Murphy grabs it, and he'll be fouled.
Frustrating possession there for Berwick. They ran great offense. I mean, they got a catch at the rim, got to convert there. Offensively, they're running great stuff. They just got to put the ball in the basket.
Oh, you couldn't get any easier than that, though, Billy.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
Missed a layup.
He's going to see that in his sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one to take.
See here if Lehman stays man-to-man or not. Yes, they are.
Kane picked up the foul, his first. 10 seconds left. And Berwick get a field goal. They're working around the Boone back in. Off the screen, Murphy, he's got it.
Bulldogs needed that one.
Let's see if that gets them going into the second quarter. And we had a whistle as well. 1.2 seconds left. Okay, they're going to get an offensive foul. The bucket will count for Murphy.
The basket will count.
Yep.
They got to push in the back on Tripp. So it'll be Lehman ball, 1.2 seconds left. Go to length of the floor.
Almost up and in. So let's see if that basket by Murphy gets the Bulldogs going. They trail by 7 going into the second quarter. We are back in the back mound. Link Lehman leading Berwick 12-5. And first meeting between the two teams in a couple seasons, Billy. 2019, Lehman a 5-point victory over the Bulldogs. Right now, it's a 7-point lead for the Black Knights.
Berwick ball here to start the second quarter. And like you said, Bob, let's see if that 3 at the end of the quarter by Murphy gets them rolling here.
Dahl out of bounds, no foul. I like the aggression, though, by Berwick. They're trying to do anything they can.
I think if you're Bobby Kalerko, the message in between quarters is, guys, you ran great stuff offensively. You screened. Your timing on your cuts were great. They just looked a little nervous, a little rushed when they'd catch the ball deep. They just got to relax, be composed, put the ball in the basket. They're running great offense.
Braden Boone, the junior, no points against Nanticoke, gives it off to Murphy. Murphy last year averaging 5.5 points per game as a freshman on this team. And Lakinski got lucky, sophomore off the referee.
The official bailed him out there. That thing was heading out of bounds.
Boone from downtown, off the mark. Oh, but Isaac Tripp, I think, is underneath.
Yeah, Isaac Tripp, a nice spark off the bench again tonight. Like we said, he was the leading scorer at Nanticoke on Friday night coming off the bench.
Just 5'8", amongst the trees, got it to go. 2 free, so 5 in a row scored by the Bulldogs. They cut the lead now to 5.
Tripp clearly a high-energy guy. He was inside rebounding with the trees down there in the defensive end.
Still man-to-man from the Black Knights. Murphy cut off. Boone a little wild with the ball. And with a foul on the floor.
That's going the other way. That's a charge.
That's a charge. So that's going to be Murphy's third if it's on him. I think it is, right?
Yeah, Cole Mario stepping in, taking the charge. Coach Kalani very high on him athletically. Great lateral quickness, great pressure on the ball. I believe Friday night, Bob, fourth quarter, he got a huge 5-second call guarding the ball.
Matt Whitesell, a senior, number 14, in for Lake Lehman in the white jerseys tonight. Berwick in the traditional blue.
Berwick staying man-to-man here in the second quarter.
Clock back into the game, took a little rest in the first. Whitesell will run the point. There's Pacheski, last year's leading scorer.
Whitesell not included on the team sneaker deal, I guess, Bob. He's got those bright pink ones on.
And will foul on the floor. So the Bulldogs did a nice job of defensively. They got caught with the foul.
You can tell Adams is a football guy. He looks like he just came out of the weight room. Be 1-1 here for the Knights.
So Boone picked up the foul, as Billy said, 1-1 for Lehman. Ethan Adams, the senior, trying to pick his first points of the year. A couple free throws. Just a 47% shooter a year ago, and made that one look pretty good.
Last time Lehman went to the line, Berwick tried to get an easy basket off the miss. Let's see if they try and do it again.
So the 5 in a row for the Bulldogs is thwarted. 2 in a row for Adams, and made that look pretty good. He's practicing those, I think, in the offseason. So back to a 7-point lead. Lehman had a 10-point advantage in the first quarter, but Berwick got a little hot towards the end of the first and into the second. Dole underneath.
Great cross screen to get Dahl open.
Yep.
Great move to finish, too.
Yeah, Dahl, the lefty, used that to his advantage. Let's see if that gets him going. His first 2 points of the game.
That Murphy 3 to end the quarter, Bob, might have got Berwick going.
Mario, the junior, his 4th point.
If they can get scoring out of Mario, that's an added bonus. He's usually a defensive guy. Zone here by the Knights. Change of defenses on the fly.
Taylor back into the game for the Bulldogs, and a bad pass.
Great bounce pass.
To Pacheski, the quarterback to the kicker. Pacheski, also an all-star soccer player, will go in college to play soccer somewhere.
If soccer's his best sport, he must be an exceptional soccer player because he's pretty good on the hardwood and supposedly, too, great at baseball.
Very good at baseball, yep. Lehman now with 4 in a row. And we'll have a foul on Tripp.
Send Whitesell to the line here for 2.
Tripp's second.
Basketball's a game of spurts. Berwick went on a little bit of a spurt. Lehman countered. Now let's see if the Bulldogs can answer down the other end after these 2 free throws.
Weitzel didn't score the other night as well in the Wilkes-Barre game. And misses this one. This goes off the mark.
Kane back in for the Knights.
Also, Joe Pelton, a senior, number 2, making his first appearance of the season. Weitzel hits the second.
Lehman sticking with that zone.
Berwick has the outside shooters. They can break that if they can get open.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they stay in this zone that Coach Calerico gets Murphy back on the floor. He's their best shooter.
So Boone will take it out of bounds. Back to a 10-point advantage for the Black Knights. Let's see where the offense is going to come from in this 5.
There's Dahl.
Yeah, Dahl made a big one the other night down at Nanticoke and got him going again, but missed that 3-pointer.
One of our keys to the game was Bobby Calerico wanted to get Miles Dahl on a roll and get him to be the secondary scorer on the team. He is looking to shoot tonight. That's a good problem to have if you're a player and your coach wants you to shoot more.
Okay, 10-point advantage, 3:49 left in the half. Lehman has held the lead since the opening tip. We're back in the Back Mountain in Dallas at Lehman High School, Wyoming Valley Conference crossover matchup. Both these teams with a game under their belts, coming in with 1 loss, so someone's going to pick up their first win on the year. Coming up in the Toyota halftime report, we'll go through the new Wyoming Valley Conference this season, Billy and I. And this division that Lake Lehman in is going to be really tough. And we'll tell you why coming up at that in the Toyota halftime report.
There's not going to be many easy nights in the Wyoming Valley Conference Division 2 this year. A lot of parity. Any team is capable of beating anybody on any given night.
Including this team, the Black Knights made an appearance in the playoffs last year and lost to Lakeland in districts. The senior team has more aspirations, but it's going to be tough in 4A.
Ball out of bounds here. It'll be Knights basketball on the baseline. Let's see what they run baseline under.
Weitzel will put it in. Back out to Doherty. He can hit it from out there. He missed that one. Nice box out by Tripp. Like the way he's playing tonight. Very fundamental.
They got a push in the back on Kane. That's kind of maybe one of the few knocks on Kane. He will commit the foul. Sometimes he gets a little bit too aggressive on the glass. Kane's one of your better players. You do not want him committing a foul 90 feet away from the hoop. He's too valuable.
And that's his second. So 8 fouls on Berwick, just 4 on Lake Lehman. And the Bulldogs not really proficient from the outside. I don't know if you want Tripp hitting those out there.
See if Berwick can get something here in transition. They do have the numbers.
Murphy off the mark again. Still struggling. And will this be a foul on Murphy?
Looks like
Nope.
they got a reach on Lehman.
Okay. We'll go against the Knights. Remember, Murphy played with 3 fouls. It'll be Bulldogs ball.
Pajeski back in the lineup for Lehman. Let's see if he can really get on a roll offensively here. Averaged 16 a game last year. He needs to average about 13 a game this year in order to get 1,000, according to his head coach.
Foul was on Pelton into the game, his first. And the drive, no good by Boone. Here come the Black Knights. Pacheski blocked over Murphy. The sophomore is still battling. Had a wide open trip down court. Instead, he'll take it to the rack. He'll get the hoop and the harm, and he'll go to the free throw line.
That's the transition basketball that Coach Kalerko was talking about. Berwick's going to be opportunistic this year. They struggle to score in the half court a little bit. If they can get out and run, they will do so. Murphy here going to the line for 2. I think if you're Bobby Kalerko, if you can keep this deficit under 10 going into halftime, you'll be very happy.
So our Figure Law Firm free throw from Murphy, his first one is good. 1 for 2 on the evening so far. That's his 5th point of the night. Klopp back into the game for the Black Knights as Pelton picked up 2 quick fouls.
Yeah, Lehman got a little undisciplined defensively the last couple trips down.
Oh boy, Doherty went hard on his ankle as Taylor was there as well. It may have landed on his foot. And you can see him limping around. That'll be a tough one to lose. He's their tallest player at 6'3". He's going to walk that one out, but I think he's going to definitely take a seat. There it is again. Oh.
Looks like he either got tangled up with Taylor, maybe slipped on a wet spot on the floor.
Done that many times. Every time I see it, I cringe.
Yeah, just not. Even if it's not that serious of an injury, it's still cringeworthy.
Yeah, definitely.
Berwick extending their defense here, picking up the ball just on the other side of half court.
Still a 9-point lead. Berwick keeping it close enough that they can make a little run.
Absolutely. Defensively, they're fine.
Yeah, trip, a little high off the glass. And we have a timeout, 30-second called by Lake Lehman.
Yeah, great take by Tripp. And again, this is the transition basketball Bobby Kalerko's talking about, getting some easy hoops in transition.
So it's a bathfitter timeout called by Lake Lehman and Coach Callanan. He's a biology teacher here. So maybe trying to work that into his basketball. He played, I believe, here too.
I think if you're Coach Callanan right now, your team is just getting a little sloppy defensively. A lot of reaching, a lot of grabbing. They're too good defensively. If they talk, they hedge on screens, they're going to be fine. They're kind of falling into some bad habits here. They want to clean things up on the defensive end.
The Bulldogs, though, just hanging around. I mean, they're not shooting all that well.
Exactly.
But it's still just a 7-point game.
If you're Bobby Kalerko, you got to be thrilled. Hey, guys, we're not playing our best basketball offensively right now, and we're only down 7. They are getting some transition hoops, which is great for them. As long as they can keep this under 10 going into halftime, I think they got to feel very good about themselves.
Pacheski off the screen. Good defense by Dahl to stop one of the best scorers in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Mario had a little step. Taylor grabs the rebound.
Tell you what, Taylor's playing bigger than what he is.
Oh, he does.
He's really doing a great job on the glass, and they need that with Blaine Cleaver out.
Call out the play from Coach Kalerko. Boone, they don't start it. Peters.
Lehman back to man here, Bob.
Peters into the game. Quick pass underneath. Amongst the trees. It's blocked as I think Tripp went up. Kane can't get it to go. So both teams now with a lid on the basket, and we have a foul. Talk about that long foul. This is on Klopp, right?
Yeah, Klopp. I mean, again, undisciplined defensively. You really don't want to commit a foul 90 feet away from the basket. Now you're sending Berwick to the line for a 1-and-1. And Berwick right now has some momentum towards the end of the first half here.
That they do. So this will send Boone to the line. Braden Boone, the junior, didn't score the other night against Nanticoke. Last year, just 1 for 7. Excuse me, averaged 1.7 points per game. Shot 53% from the line. So he'll go to the Figure Law Firm free throw line to pick up his first points of the game. On 1-and-1, it makes the first.
If you're a team struggling offensively, or if you're a player struggling offensively, going to the free throw line, seeing that ball go in the hoop will give you confidence. And that's what's happening right now for Berwick.
Hits them both. So back to a 5-point lead as we're under a minute here in the first half.
Deflection there by the Bulldogs. Almost turnover.
Mario had the paint, but got blocked. Back to Ethan Adams.
See if they get a good disciplined look here.
Klopp He took it against Lekinski. He made the bucket.
They needed that one. Berwick had a little bit of wind in their sails. Huge shoot by Klopp.
Oh, Boone comes down hard. He bounces right back up. Pachitsky.
Yeah, he's going to have to walk that off a little bit. A hard foul, but no intention or no malice there. Just a hard basketball play. Boone will walk this off and step to the free throw line here, and hopefully for Coach Kalerko, knock down 2 free throws.
Anytime you see a player go up like that, come down hard on his hip, it's going to be some ice after the game.
Adams played the ball on that one. He did get his money's worth out of that foul. He made sure there was not an N1. Boone knocking down some free throws here. Hit the deck hard, got right back up, and nothing but net on that one, Bob.
So that one goes off the mark. Let's see if Lehman now will play for the last shot. Their lead was 10 at one point, down to 6. That's exactly where the Bulldogs would like to keep it.
Berwick feeling great about themselves. If they can get a stop here to end the period, they'll really be confident.
Klopp almost got away with a walk.
I think he did get away with a walk.
Makachevsky off the mark. Good defense, and that's the way the half will end here in the back mountain. So the Bulldogs hanging around, trying to keep this one close. Lehman trying to pick up their first win of the year as well. The Toyota halftime report is coming up.
I'm joined today by Sue Schwartz. She's the Director of Nursing here at Allied for both rehab hospitals. Sue, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
So you've worked at Allied for 33 years. What are some of the best parts about working in the rehab hospitals?
It's very motivating. It's very progressive. You know, we work with the state-of-the-art equipment. We see such great success stories. It's very rewarding when we see, you know, patients who have been here, struggled through the worst times in their lives, and then come back a few months later, and very rewarding for us to hear that they're back in college or they're driving again, the things that many people take for granted. It's a great environment for learning for you know, young students that are in school for occupational therapy, physical therapy. You know, we bring staff in, and then they climb through the ranks so much like I did. And they then have positions as nurses and physical therapies in a rehabilitation setting. I remember back when I started as a GN right out of school, and just continued to be promoted through the ranks for hard work and the efforts that we all do and everything. And I wouldn't have worked anywhere else. I can't see myself anywhere else at this point.
Well, Sue, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for the 33 years you've put in here at Allied Services.
Thanks so much.
We're back at Lake Lehman High School in Luzerne County. Bob-eyed Billy Jones enjoying a crossover matchup in the Wyoming Valley Conference. And speaking of conference play, a lot of teams getting their practices in, and we're going to take a look now at the Wyoming Valley Conference. They broke it down into 2 divisions this season. We're going to go through Division 1 first, where it's Berwick, Wilkes-Barre, Tunkhannock, Crestwood, Hazleton, and Pittston area. You know, that's a very tough division. Crestwood the other night already losing to Dallas on the other side. Wilkes-Barre, of course, beat Lake Lehman. And Pittston should be pretty good again. They have their best scorer back.
Yeah, you can never count out a Pittston area team, especially coached by Coach Al Semenza. They'll always be ready to play. They're always going to be well coached. Should be interesting, too. New coach at Hazleton area, Mr. Tim Barletta, replacing Mike Joseph. Division I should have some interesting storylines. You know, hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
Really hard to pick a favorite.
Well, I think Wilkes-Barre might be the favorite right now with Crestwood losing. But Crestwood and Wilkes-Barre might come down to those 2 games. But again, Pittston and Hazleton will have something to say to it. But speaking of parity and competitiveness, Division II, you speak of pick a winner, I don't know, because
Yeah.
anybody in there you could say could pull an upset any night.
Division II is going to be a dogfight. Dallas and Nanticoke moving down from Division I. You already have clubs that are really solid, like Holy Redeemer and Wyoming Seminary, who are returning a lot of talent. Now you factor in 2 teams moving down from Division I, such as Dallas and Nanticoke, and you're really going to have some. You're really going to have a struggle to determine a division champion. I read a publication over the weekend that has Lehman picked 5th in the division. If Lake Lehman's the 5th best team in this division, it's going to be a dogfight. There's not going to be any easy games.
No, and what I see in that Division II, a lot of great guard play. I mean, you could go, Dallas has great guards, Lehman here. We know Redeemer does. Seminary has inside talent. Nanticoke, again, with some good guard play. You don't know. The guards are going to be fantastic in this division.
Exactly. Redeemer has the Division Player of the Year returning, and Justice Schultz. He's quick as he goes. The Royals go. And, of course, we got Pajeski with Lake Lehman, who could be a 1,000-point scorer this year. And Wyoming Seminary, again, Callahan and Phillips back. The cupboard definitely not there at Sem.
Let's talk about this game right here. Lehman had a 10-point advantage at one point, but give Berwick a lot of credit. Kept creeping back. And let's take a look at some highlights. Adams puts one in there for Lake Lehman.
Yeah, Adams, great dive here by Pajeski. Ball into the short corner. He scored. Great cut here by Morio. Morio not an offensive player. If they can get any offense out of him, that'll be great.
This may have gotten Berwick going, that 3 at the end of the first quarter.
I think it did. That was a great set. They ran Murphy off a staggered double screen, and he knocked down the shot.
Then we have Dahl. We talked about him as our spotlight player. He has a couple points, but we need more offense from him. But one thing Berwick has been is very aggressive to the rack.
Absolutely. They've been aggressive in transition. They've run good offense the entire night. I think in the first quarter they had a little bit of jitters. They got some easy looks right at the rim and struggled finishing. The second quarter, the ball went in the hoop for them. They have a little bit of momentum here going into this third period. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments Lake Lehman makes.
We will find out. Third quarter, second half on the way here from the back mountain. Both teams are on the floor. We are ready to go here in the second half of this Wyoming Valley Conference game. It's Allied Services High School Hoops, sponsored by Hazelton Honda. One of 9 games this season from now until March. We're happy we could bring it to you on MyTV. And again, we'll set a schedule, but as we've seen already, Crestwood and Dallas shut down because of COVID over the weekend. They're going to be out a couple weeks, so you know, who knows who's going to be playing any night. We'll try to keep up on the schedule.
Bob Doherty not starting the third period for the Knights. He went down. He tweaked that ankle. He is not starting the third period. I wonder if he'll be done for the night. If you're Lake Lehman, you want to get Pajeski and Kane going here offensively to start the second half.
Good observation from Jones, Mr. Jones. And we get Pajeski to lay it up and in. Nice quick basket.
He must have heard me from up here in the loft. Took it to the goal, easy too.
Berwick napping a little bit.
Lehman going zone. They struggled guarding Berwick man-to-man in the second quarter. They got burned a lot on back screens. That might be the reason why they're going zone.
Murphy back of the rim. Ethan Adams pulls it out. Gets it over to Pajeski. 5 seniors on the floor for Lake Lehman. 8-0 on the team.
Bulldogs staying man-to-man.
From the quarter, that was Adams.
I think if you're Berwick, you like Adams taking that shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Lehman hit it out of bounds. It'll be Bulldog ball. Back to an 8-point lead.
Knights staying with that odd front zone. See if they can get Murphy a good look here, or Dahl.
Back out to Braden Boone, the junior. He'll call out the play. Taylor in the corner, but Murphy got stripped. Adams, he's lefty now, and he lays it up and in.
Great take by Adams. If you want to attack this zone, you really want to either get the ball in the short corner, have a guy from the high post dive, or at least get the ball into the foul line area. If you're going to take some threes, let them be inside-out threes. Play inside out.
Well, Dahl and Murphy are really the guys you want shooting from out there. Went out of bounds. Kane couldn't grab it. Go to a 2-3 out of bounds. Or Lehman. Rocked away, 2-on-1. Mario to the hole, he'll lay it up and in.
And that's what Mario does. He's a pest defensively. Saturday night at Wilkes-Barre area had a huge steal and layup in the fourth quarter, which helped the Knights tie the game late.
Mario with 8 points in this game. Came in just with 2 the other night, so great contribution amongst the seniors for the junior. And out quickly comes Lehman. Largest lead of the night, Billy, 27-15, 12-point advantage. And now Coach Calerco calls timeout.
Yeah, Coach Calerco drawing up a set here, discussing obviously how to attack that zone. They seem to be really confused by it here to start the third quarter. Like I said, they got to play inside out. Maybe get the ball into the foul line area, have your shooter spot up, maybe run somebody along the baseline, or have somebody in the short corner, put the ball in the short corner, get somebody to dive from the high post. They're really struggling against this zone. If I'm Lake Lehman, if I'm Dwayne Callanan, I'm staying in the zone until Berwick figures it out.
So that was a full timeout here in the third quarter. It's a Bathfitter timeout, and Berwick going to bring it back out, now trailing by 12.
I have a hunch the talk at halftime in the Lehman locker room was pretty energetic by Coach Callanan. Probably wanted to know where the team was Saturday night that played at Wilkes-Barre area. They've responded so far here early in the third quarter.
They'll remain in the zone. Try to scoop it into Taylor. He is met by 3 players. Almost got away with a walk. Lakinski, he's 0 from 3 from downtown. Zubchevsky.
We haven't heard much from Kane offensively here. He was taken to the goal aggressively Saturday at Wilkes-Barre area, was able to score in traffic.
Well, Mario likes the matchup he keeps getting because he keeps getting in the paint. He's getting an easy look at baskets and will foul on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, got a reach here on Berwick. It'll be Knights ball on the sideline.
Dahl with his first for Berwick in this half. And Mario will bring it in.
Mario bringing great energy for Coach Callanan here in this game.
Aiden Klopp, senior. Now Kane will set it up. Berwick still in the man-to-man. Little fake, and Kane can't hit it at home.
Kane can make the outside shot. I think he's a little bit better going to the rim. We saw that Saturday night at Wilkes-Barre area. He has the ability to put the ball in the deck, score in traffic.
Well, the score right now, I think, is in favor of Berwick, but they need to hit more points. They want to keep it low scoring.
Absolutely. Defensively, they're doing everything right. This zone, though, giving them headaches. They got to figure it out really quick or this could slip away.
That was a bad pass. Lakinski. There is Kane, what we just talked about. He's aggressive, and he'll be rewarded at the Figure Law Firm free throw line.
This group of Lehman seniors, Bob, has great chemistry. They start 5. They bring 1 off the bench in Barber. With the exception of Pajeski, Coach Callanan has coached these guys since 9th grade. He was the freshman coach here at Lake Lehman when this senior class was in 9th grade. So he knows them very well. They know him very well. Great take by Kane. Strong, able to get the shot off while absorbing the contact.
Coach Calerco going to talk to Matt Lakinski. Keeps shooting from the outside, has not hit anything. Pulls him out, brings an Isaac Tripp, who gave great minutes to the team in the first half, number 10.
Yeah, Tripp, not the prettiest player in the world, but he gets stuff done. Aggressive, will take the ball to the rack, rebounds, plays bigger than what he is, brings energy to the floor.
It's way downtown, and Taylor can't pull it in. Murphy just cranking up from outside the three-point line.
You want Murphy to shoot the ball against the zone, but I think he can get a better look. You want to go inside, outside, maybe get the ball inside and then kick it back out to Murphy where he's more square, he's shot ready and can get a better look.
Tough pass by Klopp. Still a 13-point lead for the Black Knights here at home.
A little bit of a danger zone here for Berwick. If I'm Bobby Kalerko, I'd like to get this thing under 10 going into the next media timeout.
Which will be coming up shortly. Well, how about Tripp coming in and stepping back?
Yeah,
Same place.
I didn't know he had that in his arsenal. I said maybe he wasn't the prettiest player in the world. He showed me, knocked down the 3 like it was his job.
Yeah, that's 7 points for him.
He had 9 off the bench Friday night in the opener at Nanticoke.
Inside, fight for the rebound.
Kane's got to finish that. They ran a great set there to get him the ball underneath, but Pajeski makes him pay.
Yeah, you set up one of the best 3-point shooters in the conference.
And when he's square like that, it's pretty much going down. Your best 3s are going to come sometimes off of offensive rebounds because your shooters are going to be on the perimeter. They're already going to be square to the basket. They're already going to be shot ready. Lehman sticking with that zone. I would not get out of it unless Berwick figures it out.
Murphy looked, but had second thoughts. Just not finding that hole that they need. They forced it inside. Not what you need. Kane, aggressive. Any hoop of the arm. He'll go to the free throw line after the immediate timeout.
And that's the Josh Kane we saw at Wilkes-Barre area.
Well, as soon as you mentioned, he must have heard you because he's been aggressive on his last couple of points. And we'll take immediate timeout. 33-18 our score here at Lake Lehman. The Black Knights starting to get things rolling. Back inside the John Seleskis Gymnasium inside Lake Lehman High School. This school district has had in-person classes, I should say, for most of the time.
In-person instruction.
Yep.
Kane here to the line to finish the 3-point play.
As you can see, both teams not wearing masks. The referees are. That's their choice. So as we talked about in the beginning of the game, both teams, and a lot of teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference, not wearing masks during play, but do have to wear them on the bench.
They got to reach there on Kane on the missed free throw. A little frustration foul. We saw a foul like that earlier in the game. I guess if there's one knock on him, he sometimes commits the silly foul far away from the goal. He's too valuable to do that. They need him on the floor.
Yeah, that's his 3rd personal of the game.
Knight sticking with the zone here. I think what hurts Berwick right now is the absence of Blaine Cleaver, a big interior presence, a scorer, because I think if they're able to punch the ball into Cleaver tonight, that would get the zone to collapse. But nice move there, passing to Taylor.
Trip to Taylor. That's Taylor's first field goal of the night. He has 3. And knocked away by Murphy.
Excellent
and
play.
We'll have foul. 90 feet from the basket. Going to be, nope, they said he went out of bounds.
That was an excellent play.
Yep.
Drawn up by Bobby Kalerko at halftime. They needed a easy basket against the zone. It's 13 now. Again, if they can get this under 10 going into the 4th quarter, they got to feel pretty good about themselves. Huge
Murphy.
2 minutes here.
Yeah, Lakinski back in for Murphy. Into the corner. You don't want to leave him open. And that is why from downtown, Matt Krzyzewski for 3.
Berwick went zone there. Pajeski made him pay. Wide open in the corner. Was able to knock it down.
Second 3 of the night. He had 45 a year ago. 16 is the largest lead. This one's starting to get away now from Berwick. Give credit to the zone.
Nice skip pass.
Rejected by Klopp.
I think they got to look again, getting something inside. That was a nice skip pass to Boone. He drove it. Klopp said, not so fast, my friend.
Trip with the cut. A little short.
Here's Kane in transition where he's very dangerous.
Yeah, maybe pushed off a little bit to left hand.
Yeah,
That's
he was
all right.
lucky he didn't get his fourth there.
No, off the glass. So someone is starting to heat up. Number 5 is.
Pajeski showing why he was an all Wyoming Valley Conference performer last year, taking over here late in the third quarter.
Yep, he has 10 in the quarter altogether, Billy.
Yeah, I think the discussion at halftime was how to get him and Kane going, and it was mission accomplished for Coach Callahan.
Trip a big offensive board. Boone trying to get the screen. He can't. We're under a minute to play in the third quarter. Lehman trying to add to the lead, 2-on-1. Great skip pass, and Taylor from behind with the block.
And it's off Lehman. Going the other way for Berwick.
A lot of very good hustle from the junior. Clean block.
Yeah.
As Adams tried to go up on the right side. So Boone will sit, Murphy back in. Jordan Montez, a freshman, into the game to give Taylor a blow.
Montez got his first points of his career Friday night at Nanticoke, made 1 of 2 free throws.
That's a big quarter by the Black Knights, though.
Little trap here in the corner. They got to get it out.
Double team. Murphy will have a foul with 23 seconds left.
See what the Bulldogs here run baseline out of bounds. 23 seconds left. Watch Murphy possibly coming back in off of a screen once he inbounds the ball.
Morial's second foul. I don't know how Tripp got that away and didn't get a foul. But Berwick again, another offensive opportunity. Murphy quickly double team. He has to get it out there quickly.
And I don't blame Lehman for staying in this zone.
Nope. McKinsky loses it. Morial, half court. Oh, hit the back of the rim. He had a good look at it though, but a huge third quarter from the Black Knights. They lead now by 18 as we head into the fourth. 17-point quarter for the Black Knights of Lake Lehman. They have an 18-point lead and on their way to their first victory of the year. And not only offensively, but it's that zone that is really giving Berwick problems.
Yeah, that zone gave them fits. Berwick really had trouble cracking it, and they're sticking in the zone right now. They want to play inside, outside. But if you can't blame Lehman for sticking to the zone.
Murphy in front of the rim, but Tripp. Boy, he's doing a nice job on the board. He just couldn't get it to go. 3-on-1. Murphy to Pajeski, off the mark. McKinsky. Montez, how about the freshman? He gets 2. But shoe off for Morio.
I think Coach Calladay there, his heart might have skipped a beat. He thought maybe another ankle injury. They lost Doherty to an ankle injury in the first half. Fortunately, just a wardrobe malfunction here for Mario.
We got all kinds of shoes going on, but yeah, Doherty has not seen action in the second half since he twisted his ankle. That's a big loss for Lake Lehman. Hopefully he's okay.
As we discussed, Lehman could not have scripted a better third quarter between the zone defense giving Berwick fits and just getting Pajeski and Kane on a roll.
Yeah. Berwick did a little bit of full court pressure, didn't really mount to much.
And that's the Kane we saw at Wilkes-Barre area, putting the ball on the deck, getting to the rim, drawing contact.
So Murphy picks up the foul. That's his 4th for the sophomore. There you saw it, and Kane at the line.
Lehman's next game will be Wednesday at Pittston area, another crossover game. They need the Josh Kane, who played well here in the second half and played great at Wilkes-Barre area, in order for them to compete at Pittston area.
Kane 3 of 8 tonight from the Figure Law Firm free throw line. Can't get that one to go on the second. We'll have a foul, I think on Morio.
Looks it. again, if you're...
no, they're going to get it on Kane, his 4th foul.
Oh, boy. Fortunately for Coach Callanan, it's a 17-point lead. Actually, 18. If this was a tight game, he'd have some decisions to make with 7 minutes to go.
Good look to Kinski, and they're getting easy baskets, easy looks, I should say.
Yeah,
at the basket. They're just not getting anything to go for Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that Lazinski's going to see in his sleep tonight. We saw it in the first quarter. They ran some great stuff, ran some great sets, got looks at the rim, but were unable to finish.
Full court pressure now pulled down by Berwick.
Who knows, this might give the Bulldogs a spark. If they can get a few turnovers here and some easy transition baskets like Coach Kalerko talked about, they could maybe cut it to around 10. We shall see. Kane has other ideas.
Yeah, Kane did. He goes in for 2 more.
I guess we could say Kane is able, Bob?
Kane may be able to pick up a victory for the Black Knights. Him and Pacheski have really heated up in the second half.
Yep, they got a reach there on Dahl.
Dahl, yep. Dahl's 2nd foul, but again, Berwick trying to be aggressive. Right from the outset, they didn't have troubles in that first quarter, didn't make a field goal until very late in that quarter, and they've struggled offensively all night long again.
Yeah, if you're Berwick here, though, I don't blame them for showing some full court pressure. You got to roll the dice.
Montez to the floor, the freshman. Gets with Mario, the senior.
The freshman picking up a floor burn. I'm sure Coach Kalerko is pleased with that. If he can hustle like that and be scrappy, he'll see more minutes as his 9th grade season continues.
Klopp was in trouble, but got it to Pacheski.
Good footwork there by Pacheski, not the walk.
Pacheski. Still Lehman being aggressive. Adams, no good. Lakinski is going to dribble it out. He had a block twice. Yeah, so Lake Lehman's come out of the team we saw against Wilkes-Barre on Saturday. Very aggressive.
That's too easy of a look for Murphy. Nobody got a hand up in the zone.
Well, that's what he was trying to do before. It was ineffective in the 3rd quarter. Finally hits one.
If you're Lehman, you got to...
Too easy.
Yeah, too easy. If you're Lehman, though, you got to know that Murphy's the best shooter in blue, and you got to recognize where he is in the zone. They did not get a hand up and contest that 3.
I have Mario for double digits tonight.
Yeah, Mario picking up the slack with the absence of Doherty going down with the injury. He has stepped up.
So Klopp's going to pick up the foul. And it will send Dahl to the line on the figure law firm free throw for Miles Dahl, the junior. Gets one. You saw it.
Now Berwick opens up division play on Friday night against Wyoming Valley West. Do you think Jerry Rickrode will be in the crowd? 2 of his former players as coaches now going against one another.
That we will have to see. I believe they play Southern Columbia first.
Okay.
I have them at Southern Columbia on the 25th. But you're right.
Their league opener is against
that.
Valley West.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, Chris Parker, former Colonel. Bobby Kalerko, also a former Colonel. We're not teammates. They just missed one another, but they've been friends for a while. Be interesting to see if Jerry Rickrode will possibly be in attendance watching 2 of his former players coach against one another, especially in Kalerko's first year and Parker's first year at Wyoming Valley West.
Yeah, exactly.
He could probably pull some strings,
yeah,
I think. He went to a Final Four or 2.
Mario will pick up the foul.
Now I know the deficit right here is 17, but Dahl getting to the free throw line here, being a little assertive here offensively, that's a good thing. There's things here that even if Berwick doesn't come back and win this game, that they can build on.
Again, a young team, only plays really 1 senior.
Yeah. And again, they're missing their leading scorer and rebounder from last year.
Blaine Cleaver.
Yeah. He definitely would have made a difference tonight, especially against that zone.
Matt Whitesell in the game for Lehman as Dahl hits the second.
Berwick going to continue to pick up here with this full court pressure. Again, if you don't come back, you're still learning some things about your team if you're Bobby Kalerko. Maybe you are a pressing team and don't realize it. You might find out tonight. We'll see.
Again, second game of this very unusual season for both teams with the late start into 2021. No preseason games. This is kind of the preseason.
Yeah, I think last year at this time, if you said this was how the start of the 2020-2021 basketball season would be like, people have said you're crazy.
Lakinski, he finally gets two.
Got a timeout here on the
Yeah,
floor.
timeout. We'll stay here, though, because we'll have our media timeout coming up in about 20 seconds. But we'll stay right here, check out maybe schedules for both teams on the horizon as we start this season. First for the Bulldogs. And again, I think the schedule online may be a little bit off. That is what they had online.
Gotcha.
So you said they're going to play when?
Friday against Wyoming Valley
Okay.
West. Yeah.
So I apologize for that. There you see what's going to happen from starting January 25th for Berwick.
Yeah, with the 2-week shutdown, you're going to see a lot of games stacked up. Not a lot of off days in between games, not a lot of practice. It's certainly going to be an interesting season. Expect teams, especially like the Lackawanna League teams, very few of them have played yet. Expect some rust early from teams that are just getting their first couple games in for the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would be expected. You're shutting things down for 2 weeks. You're not working on your offense. I think the defense will be ahead of the offense, but too, like you're not getting your shots up in practice every day. I think the shooting's going to suffer. Lehman played a lot of zone here in the second half. If I were a coach right now, I would zone a lot of teams just because of the 2-week layoff and teams not getting a lot of shooting in the early part of the year.
So Matt Pachewski, under 4 minutes here to play. Lehman on their way to win number 1 on the season. Break the zone. Trip. He'll take it in. No foul.
Tripp, a pleasant surprise for the Bulldogs this year. He is a newcomer to the team as a senior. Bobby Kalerko's got to be thrilled that they have him in uniform.
I have him for 9 points tonight. So, Kane still aggressive. Whitesell with the left hand.
Yeah, great baseline drive by Kane. Whitesell ended up diving. Easy look, great bounce pass, great finish.
We're going to battle, though, all the way to the end. Taylor maybe passed up a shot. Taylor still battling. It's on the floor, and they're going to travel. And that's going to be a timeout for us. 3:06 left in this game. 46-31 to score. We'll be right back for the final 3:06 here on MyTV. We are back with some high school hoops here in 2021. Bob Ide, Billy Jones, current referee. You might see him on the court up in the Lackawanna League. Tell me he did a great job tonight.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
A lot of insight, did his homework, talked to both coaches. He's more prepared than me.
Berwick continuing with their full court pressure here. Now they're face guarding full court. They got to be careful they don't get beat with a long bomb here.
Ooh, they're going to pick up Tripp.
And that's going to send Morio to the line for a 1-and-1.
Again, Memorial, a nice surprise tonight, double digits in points. Just a junior, came in with just 2 points this season. He'll go to the line for the first time tonight. Can't make that 1-and-1. Go the Bulldogs, 14-point deficit. They're gonna get a block. Tripp again.
Is that Kane's 5th?
If it is on Kane, it is. It is, and it is 5.
I think if you're
Ethan Adams set to come in. Go ahead.
I think if you're Coach Dwayne Callanan, you have to be very pleased with the second half performance of your team. However, one of the things I would address would be some of kind of the silly fouls Kane committed. There were 2 that were about 90 feet away from the basket. If this is a close game here tonight, you can't afford to have him foul out late. He's too valuable.
Good look from Murphy. Even better rebound.
Yeah, Dahl doing some work on the offensive glass here.
And
in the
so is
second half.
Taylor. Taylor gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. The one thing with this Coach Clerical team, they are not giving up. Doesn't matter the deficit.
No, they're playing hard, and I think Berwick, because they're so young and it's a first-year head coach, their best basketball is, I think, going to be way ahead of them. They're, mid-season, I can see them playing a lot better, and down the stretch, they just need to make up for that lost practice time. That 2 weeks of practice, I think, has really hurt them.
So Taylor can't get it to go. Some fans here on both sides, family in attendance. The cheerleaders are here from Lake Lehman. But overall, it's pretty quiet in here.
Very, very quiet. If I was coaching now, I would have to be very careful. These gyms with either minimal or no capacity, the refs can hear everything you say, Bob, if you're a coach.
And so are the parents.
I got away with saying a lot with crowded gyms and cheerleaders.
So Taylor hits the second of 2. Boone comes out along with Murphy. And they're going to pick up an aggressive foul from Tripp with the body.
I think everything with Tripp's aggressive. He plays 100 miles per hour, which is great. He's an energy guy. That's what you need coming off the bench.
That's his 4th foul, though. Morial also has 4 for Lake Lehman.
If you're Bobby Kalerko and you have a starter, maybe pick up a couple quick fouls, or you have a guy that maybe has an injury. Tripp's a nice guy to turn to off the bench. He can give you a spark. He's going to play hard. And he's a newcomer to this team as a senior. So again, just like the team itself, he's only going to get better as the year goes on.
So Whitesell hits the first of the 1-on-1. Second one's back of the rim is no good. So he's 2 for 4 on the night from the Figure Law Firm free throw line. Still a 14-point lead. And Murphy knew it was short. Ran it down and somehow saved it. All kinds of hands going on. Finally, we get a whistle.
Yeah, the Bulldogs going to go back to the line for another, or I'm sorry, the Knights going to go back to the line for another 1-on-1. Looks like Adams will be the shooter.
And that will be 5 on Murphy, so that's why he sat out. So the sophomore will take a seat. I have him for 8 points on the night, couple threes.
So, Bob, they announced last week the District 2 Boys and Girls Basketball Championships, despite COVID, will still be at the arena this year, March 11th through 13th.
Interesting. I find that interesting because, and we don't know if there's going to be fans allowed.
Yeah, it should.
But, credit to District 2, at least saying we're going to keep it the way it is, keep it in the big gym.
Yeah, I think the kids, that's when you're in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, that's one of your goals. You want to play in the arena, want to play on that floor. It's a great experience.
Well, it's down to a 12-point lead. Timeout for Berwick. Alex Peters going to check in.
Yeah,
this zone, the press, taking a little bit of advantage. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's take a look at what Lehman has coming up. Hanover area, then a couple tough games with Redeemer. Well, a couple, how about 3 in a row that are going to be real tough. And really that whole schedule, you look at it, not an easy game. But the senior leadership's going to help.
Yeah, Coach Callanan, I spoke with him on the phone yesterday. He thinks Division II, as far as parity and as far as competitiveness, will be better than Division I. Any team in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference this year is capable of beating any other team on any given night. You got to bring it, or else you're going home with an L in Division II, I think.
Well, you talked about this press about Berwick, whether or not this may be something that we see now during the season, and it's really getting better as this fourth quarter has gone on.
Yeah. And again, Bob, with the 2 weeks off due to COVID, maybe this is something they haven't been able to work on in practice.
Chesky to Weitzel. Somehow he got the scoop to go up in the air. Couldn't get it into the basket, but he will go to the Figure Law Firm free throw line.
If you're Bobby Kolarko, I think after the game, you have to be as positive as you can be. They ran good offense tonight. There were a lot of times, though, where they just couldn't put the ball in the basket, but they ran good sets. They ran good stuff. They got quality looks, and just the effort down the stretch. This team isn't giving up. You know, the future is bright here with the Bulldogs.
Matt Weitzel off the bench tonight, contributing up to 6 points. Lehman has gotten good bench play tonight, especially with Doherty down. Weitzel grabs it, and he's going to be fouled again.
And again, if you're Weitzel, if you're a senior, you're coming off the bench, he's playing here for extra minutes. He knows if, hey, I do the things coach asks, I hustle, maybe pick up some rebounds, grab some 50-50 balls, my minutes might increase.
Well, they may. We don't know the extent of the injury to Doherty.
Yeah, I saw a shot of Doherty. He is in street clothes sitting behind the bench, so he got out of his uniform here for the second half. They shut him down.
Again, he twisted his ankle in the first half. So Weitzel hits one of two.
They're going to need Doherty back, though. I think he's critical for their offense. He's a big that can step out and shoot. He will pull the opposing team's big man away from the basket, and he's tough to guard. You have to honestly guard him on the perimeter because he can knock down the three, and he's quick enough that he can drive by a defender. So he's a tough matchup on the perimeter.
Adams couldn't get the layup to go, but I think he was fouled. Yeah, it was a foul from behind. That's going to be on Dahl, his fourth, and Ethan Adams will go to the Figure Law Firm free throw line.
Adams struggled from the free throw line last year. He's really, I think, got to knock down free throws, especially if Lehman is in a scenario where they have a lead late. He's a primary ball handler, and other teams are going to look to foul him late in the game with a lead, so he's got to brush up on his free throws.
Man-to-man for Lehman now. They played a lot of zone in this second half. They switched it up. And as Berwick continues to be aggressive, we keep getting fouls.
Yeah.
This last 2 minutes has taken a long time.
Again, for Berwick, this is something to build on. There are some positives here in the fourth quarter. You worked on your full court pressure. Your kids are still aggressively crashing the offensive glass. They're playing hard. You're preaching positive if you're Bobby Kolarko after the game tonight and in practice tomorrow, especially with this young group of kids.
Kinski takes a seat for Jordan Montez, the freshman, trying to get him some quality varsity minutes.
Dahl, team captain, Bobby Kolarko, very high on him. It's basketball 12 months out of the year for him. If they're not in season, he's working on his game as an individual. He's in the weight room. He's doing the strength and conditioning. He's doing everything that's asked by the coaching staff.
Dahl with the miss, but Taylor with a big offensive board was fouled. Now he'll go to the line. Still in the, I think they'll give him two, or is it 1-on-1? It looks like 1-on-1.
Yeah.
No, it was
two shots in the act of shooting. Taylor not as good of a scorer as Cleaver, but I'll tell you what, he plays much bigger than what he is. He rebounds the ball very well, works his tail off. When Cleaver comes back with him and Taylor, they're really going to be effective on the glass, and they're going to have a greater inside presence. And
they're going to need to make free throws, because if they're going to be inside, they're going to get fouled.
Amen to that. 60
seconds and under now in this game, 15-point advantage. Lehman had it up to 16 at one point.
Berwick continuing with the full court pressure.
Chesky will just gonna try to hold it. work that clock.
If I'm Pajeski, I'm praying they foul me.
Yeah.
I could score 1,000 this year. I need all the points I can get.
Adams wants some points. Taylor aggressive is going to be called for.
That's a charge. We're going the other way.
Offensive foul. So they pushed off with the one hand. Not sure, but it was a quick call.
If you're Dwayne Killenay, you have to be ecstatic. Cole Mario taking a charge up 15 with 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That kid's a gamer. They may need him, though, if Doherty's not available next game.
Flop an easy bucket.
Yeah, easy basket on the end of the press.
So we come back after the final buzzer. We'll have our Allied Services players of the game, Matt Pachevsky and Josh Kane. We'll speak to them, and we'll wrap it up after that. So, Billy, final comments on this game?
Berwick, I think I'm going to be as positive as possible if you're Coach Kalerko. The end of the game, you guys played hard the entire 4 periods, ran good offense. Lake Lehman, you know, they really stepped up in the 3rd period. Them playing zone was critical. It really took Berwick out of the offensive rhythm that they had in the 2nd quarter, and it was key for them too to get Pajeski and Kane involved early in the 2nd half. That's really what created the separation in the 2nd half between the Knights and the Bulldogs.
Okay, Lehman picks up their first win of the season, 51-34. I'll be back with the players of the game after this. Lake Lehman picks up their first win of the year with a 51-34 victory over the Berwick Bulldogs. We have our Allied Services players of the game right now. Big second half for Max Pachevsky. And Max, what was said at halftime? Because it looked like you guys weren't happy the way you were playing in that first half.
Well, I mean, at half, we knew that we were a better team and that what we played on Saturday, we played a much better game on Saturday. And the second half, we just wanted to prove that. We came out, we played good defense, got some steals. Played transition game, which is what we like, and scored some buckets, which was good.
Give Berwick a lot of credit. They really played tough defense on you tonight, and they're scrappy.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the way you saw what you saw from Berwick tonight.
They played an interesting matchup zone. So, I mean, not many teams play that in high school. You pass, they switch. It's an interesting play, but we were able to get through it, which I was happy with, and got the win.
You're in a tough division this year, Division II. No games. You're not going to be able to take any games off. How much is your senior leadership with all these seniors going to have to help you each night?
I mean, each practice got to be 100%. Each game's got to be 100%. And I feel that if we just keep going and we keep trying our best at practice, keep working hard, we can have a good season.
One guy working hard is number 20. We'll get you out, Max, and bring in Josh Kane. Josh, again, aggressive in that second half. Was that the mission going into the second half?
Oh, for sure, yeah. If we're aggressive, then it causes turnovers, and that gives us a chance to score at the end of the end, like with fast breaks and, you know.
You have been really aggressive. At Wilkes-Barre, we highlighted you as our Toyota Spotlight of the game for a reason. You played really hard then and tonight. What did you work on in the offseason? What's your mindset going into this year?
Just going hard to the basket. I learned that, like, the more I go to the basket, the more I get calls. I mean, not this game specifically, but, you know, just in general. Getting rebounds, like getting stronger, jumping higher, you know, just that sort of stuff to get me better athletically.
Again, a tough division you play in every night. What has to happen right for you guys to be competitive? And I know your goal is to make it to the district playoffs again.
Just play hard,
yeah.
You know, go to practice every day, work as hard as you would as in a game, and, you know, just keep your mind set on going to the playoffs at least.
Josh Kane, one of our Allied Services players of the game. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time. Good luck this season. And that's going to wrap it here from the Back Mountain. Lake Lehman with a big win over tonight over the Berwick Bulldogs. Our high school hoops will continue January 22nd. We'll tip things off in the Lackawanna League as Abington takes on Scranton, a big Division I matchup. We'll have that game for you right here on my TV at 7 o'clock, January 22nd. So we'll wrap things up here. For the entire Fox 56 Sports crew, for Billy Jones up on the color analyst, this is Bob Ide saying so long from the Back Mountain.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazleton Honda.